Respect!
Bong Joon-ho's Parasite is a Korean film that is part comedy, part horror, and all-class commentary. Released in 2019, the movie garnered worldwide acclaim for its political nuance and artful cinematography. One point often discussed is the director's painstakingly coordinated mise-en-scene and cinematography, which are published in the book Parasite, a graphic novel and storyboards, which reveals the deliberately planned scenes. Though an extensive storyboard, Bong created a final product that closely followed his original vision. Overall, the film tackles class commentary through the struggles of the families, the Kims and the Parks, which represents the lower and upper classes respectively. Through scene composition and camera work, the film conveys class differences using space and movement to help show the invasion of boundaries. While the families remain a large focus of the film's conflict, one interesting case that is worth bringing up is the role of the paternal figures of the film, Kim Ki-taek and Park Dong-ik, whom I will refer to as Mr. Kim and Mr. Park for ease of language. Throughout the film, most commentary of class is represented through these two characters and their philosophy on family, with the characters serving as each other's foil, eventually leading to Mr. Park's death at the hands of Mr. Kim. Bong Joon-ho tackles the family patriarchy that helps highlight the struggles of the lower class as the upper class continues to thrive, with Mr. Kim's focus on familial relationships standing in stark contrast to Mr. Park's ideology of monetary business relationships. In this video, I will analyze two main scenes of Parasite in regard to mise-en-scene, cinematography, and editing to describe how the film's use of the family patriarchy represents the division of the different classes, along with the conflict that these differences provide. The first scene I'll discuss is the second on-screen car ride between both Mr. Park and Mr. Kim. The scene builds off the previous drive, which featured warmer lighting that highlights their pleasant relationship, contrasting the current scene where the lighting is darkened and gray, as their conversation becomes more realistic and bitter. For context, the scene happens after Mr. Kim is hired as the family's personal driver, and after the previous caretaker, Moon Gwang, is fired, leaving the upper-class family with a sudden gap in assistance. The two fathers discuss their predicament, leading to Mr. Park falling into the trap of the lower-class family, as Mr. Kim persuades the family into hiring an elite housekeeper to have the entire Kim family leeching off the Park's family's wealth.
뭐라고 해야 되나 이게 멤버십 위주로만 운영이 되고요. 대표님 같은 그 VIP 고객분들 가정에 이렇게 가사 도우미, 간병인 또 저 같은 수행 기사들.
Interesting to note is how both characters are given their own camera view, with neither character invading the box of the other. However, Mr. Kim is the only one who tries to bridge the gap between the two, constantly looking back. In the middle of the scene, the camera's only major movement is when the camera pans from Mr. Kim to Mr. Park, just after Mr. Kim asks Mr. Park if he loves his wife. An aspect of the scene that often goes unnoticed is how the camera appears slightly zoomed in on Mr. Park when compared to the previous shots, making him appear more cramped in his box as Mr. Kim intrudes upon his space. Previous scenes highlight Mr. Park's belief in boundaries, with the dialogue between him and his wife highlighting his personal comfort in the back seat, and concern over the previous driver's infiltration of his area, when he allegedly takes his personal and sexual life outside of the driver's seat and into the passenger section. The scene ends with Mr. Park having a small outburst at Mr. Kim in order to have him keep his eyes on the road, which, while at first may seem as if he's concerned with the safety of the vehicle, ends up being a matter of personal space, as Mr. Park rejects Mr. Kim's intrusions. The camera quickly cuts to Mr. Park interrupting Mr. Kim's assistance, just as Mr. Kim is about to turn his entire body and enter the back of the car. Overall, this scene highlights the separation between the two characters, and thus their families through the existing barrier that distinguishes their classes. This scene's utilization within the first half, where the story serves as a comedic family drama, is also used to highlight the underlying message of the internal conflict between the upper and lower class, with both characters harboring a secret ideology of their class in comparison to the other. Mr. Kim's established identity as a father leads him to try and reach out to Mr. Park as an equal, only for the barrier between the two to be reaffirmed, showing that despite being fathers with similar roles in their family, their difference in class is what defines them and their relationship. The next scene that I wish to talk about happens in the second half of the film, when the film leaves its simple family drama theme to become an all-out horror movie. After silencing the other poor couple, Moon Gwang and Junse, the sister, brother, and Mr. Kim are left hiding under the living room table, looking for an exit as Mr. and Mrs. Park stand guard. It is worth noting how the scene starts with a pedestal shot, with the Park family shown above on the couch as the camera moves lower, revealing the Kim family below the table. Unbeknownst to the Parks, the Kims all hear the true thoughts of Mr. Park, who comments on the smell of the family's workers, namely Mr. Kim, which is regarded as odorous and similar to the smell of the subway. In the midst of Mr. Park's rough words, the camera cuts to the Kims, with the camera blurring on their brother and sister to emphasize the father's reaction to the harsh words, notably him pulling his shirt to smell his scents. Another cut is used later on in this scene, with a top view of the sister and Mr. Kim, the former being slightly out of frame in comparison to the latter, showing that while the entire family does take offense to Mr. Park's slander, the father ends up taking the brunt of the damage. Within a typical family structure, the father is supposed to be the most emotionally stable, especially as the breadwinner of the family, in which the need to put food on the table outweighs their personal thoughts and opinions. Previously, the dad is shown to put lots of care into his family, while also being shown as one of the more emotional members of the family. Later on in the film, he would explain how he was driven by emotion rather than strategic planning.
애초부터 아무 계획이 없으니까 뭐가 터져도 다 상관없는 거야.
This makes the treatment he receives as a father even worse, by the fact that he is receiving all the slander from a fellow father, one that he considers unequal. While both these scenes are standalone for the actors' performances, cinematography, and mise-en-scene, they both play a role in the scenes leading up to the final climax. While very brief, a scene shows Mr. Kim driving Mrs. Park as she makes plans for her son's birthday party, serving as the final reminder of the distance between the families. An interesting note about the scene is the final inclusion of both the passenger and the driver in the same shot, emphasizing Mr. Kim's growing bitterness towards the Park family while also echoing the previous scene, as he sniffs his shirt upon recognizing his own smell. This then leads into the final interaction between both fathers, as Mr. Kim asks Mr. Park if he loves his wife, resulting in Mr. Park shutting him down and telling him to maintain their business relationship.
김 기사님, 어차피 오늘 근무인 거죠, 이게? 그냥 뭐 이게 일의 연장이라고 생각하시고, 예?
Mr. Kim's final attempt to draw out the familial connection with Mr. Park through their parental role serves as the final nail in the coffin for Mr. Park, telling Mr. Kim once and for all that these two are not the same, despite both being fathers. This reflects the rigid structure of class boundaries encountered within South Korea, with the professional hierarchy surpassing personal bonds, which is an issue shaped by economic disparity and income gaps that create workplace hierarchies. This makes Mr. Kim's murder of Mr. Park even more significant, as it is seen not only as a man who was jealous of his richer counterparts, but as a broken father who witnessed the death of his daughter and the rest of his family in shambles, wanting Mr. Park to finally see him as a better father. Bong Joon-ho's Parasite confronts the disparity between class through family relationships, using the patriarchs of the Kim and Park families to show the divide in beliefs. The car scenes help demonstrate the divide between the rich and poor through the passenger-driver relationship, with Mr. Kim's experience showing his developing view of the Park family as he assumes his position as their driver. The living room scene serves as a turning point for Mr. Kim's character, having him realize the true nature of his relationship with the Parks and breaking down his earlier admiration. Mr. Kim's attempt to connect through fatherhood ends up driving a deeper wedge between the two, with the sudden actions in killing Mr. Park helping establish himself as a better family man as he looks down upon the dying father. These scenes demonstrate the film's progression from a comedy to a tragedy, through the collapse of a father who recognized the impossible class divide spurred from the harsh words of a father he looked up to. Much more can be stated about the movie and the characters it portrays in the message of class division and family bonds. The father, Kim Ki-taek, is a complex character, with lots of moments throughout the film that adds more layers to his psyche. Diving deeper into the script of Parasite reveals that there are slight differences in the dialogue and actions throughout the story, painting a similar yet unique image of Bong Joon-ho's intent behind Mr. Kim's representation and purpose in the story. From the script, we learn that he is responsible for the defective pizza boxes, or how his last words to Mr. Park were confronting him about crossing the line, or that he wanted to attack Junsei first during his scuffle with Chung-suk, but ultimately mustered up the courage and hatred to sink an axe into Mr. Park's neck. There's a lot left to be explored through their characters, especially through their interactions with one another, and by analyzing the director's intentions through the mise-en-scene and cinematography, messages can be picked up regarding the character's symbolism and class commentary. Ultimately, Parasite's usage of social context through the development of plot and formal filmic elements creates a story that resonates throughout South Korea and across global audiences experiencing similar class divides. So, yeah. 이거 누가 와도 사랑일 텐데 종일 하면 일일 텐데 돌아서로 안 통로인 건 아무래도 사랑인가 봐. Thank you. I love this class. Bye bye.
Respect!